know you were called to greater leadership. You know it. You can feel it. You can feel that pang inside of you. And the thing is, it's not that far. It does take a commitment. It does take dedication, but it's not that far. And you can do it. And more importantly, your staff, your customers, your family needs you to do it.
Welcome to Start With a Win, where we unpack leadership, personal growth and development, and how to build a better business. Let's go. Coming to you from Area 15 Ventures and Start With a Win headquarters, it's Adam Contos with Start With a Win. What if the biggest thing holding your business back is you? My guest today has spent over 25 years in the entrepreneurial trenches, running gyms, bakeries, food service companies, and even coaching national championship youth football teams. He's seen firsthand how talented leaders accidentally become the bottleneck in their own organizations. His book, The Delegation Trap, and his CASE, C-A-S-E method are helping entrepreneurs and executives stop doing it all, start trusting their teams, and finally build a business that grows even when they step away. Please welcome Atiba de Souza. Atiba, welcome to Start With a Win.
Adam, thank you for having me. I look forward to our conversation today, buddy.
Right on. Hey, you and I have a lot in common when it comes to this thought process and, you know, the systems and disciplines around it, things of that nature. But I want to dive right in. You have a book. It's called The Delegation Trap.
Yes.
And I love that statement just overall. Tell us, why did you write this book? And obviously it's about delegation trap, but dig a little deeper into it. Give me a quick flyover of that, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. So number one, I didn't mean to be an author. That was never the intention. Okay. But I was in a room and I'm sure you've had this experience, Adam. I'm in a room. It's a mastermind. And I'm in a mastermind room with people who are OGs, people that I look up to. Right. Yeah. And at this mastermind, we get to go around and we get to share something that we've done in the last 3-4 months that has made a difference. And honestly, I was there and I was like, man, I don't really have anything to share this time. And so I just got up and I shared something, which was, I don't answer questions that my staff asks.
Interesting.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the backstory behind it is if I do my job well enough, they don't have questions. If I impart the vision well enough, they don't have questions. Right. And I can just send them back to what we did. So that's the backstory. But what ended up happening is there was a room of like 60 entrepreneurs, all who are ridiculously successful. And I got battered that weekend by people saying, dude, I spend most of my day answering questions. What do you mean you're not answering questions? How the hell do you do that? And I'm thinking, y'all been around longer than me. What do you mean you don't know this? And that was the moment that the book was born, because that was the moment that I realized that whereas I thought maybe it's just small business, new businesses who are trapped, these are seasoned veterans with 10, 15, $20 million companies who are still feeling trapped inside of their organizations.
Wow. Okay. So are most of these people founders, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. I like to call something similar to this with some of our founders, the founder syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
And it's kind of fun because when you look at it, you know, what do people do when the founder is running the company? They're like, oh, this is their dream. I have to follow their dream, stuff like that.
Yep.
So I mean, you're right. Yeah, they run into the founder's office and they're like, I got this problem, and they throw it on their desk, and the founder has to spend their time sorting through it. You found a way to empower your people.
Yes.
Where you don't have founder syndrome in your business is you've got, you know, people checking in, if you will, probably. And I say that with air quotes, but the reality is, I mean, you're
not even, they don't even check it. They just go do.
I love it. I love it. And, but you have a culture where it's okay to make a mistake, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the reality is mistakes are the reality.
I love that.
And when we live in this world where we put all of this pressure around, you can't make a mistake, that's not real.
Yeah.
And so one of the things with leadership is I am very open about all of my mistakes. Like, y'all, I screwed that up. Okay. Like, We had this big call yesterday, and I didn't close a client. I screwed up, and here's how I screwed up, y'all.
And yeah, for everybody who's not watching the video, he just did a big face palm when he told me that too.
Right. But here's part of the thing is, you know, we've grown up in this society where as a leader, you had to sit in this rarefied air and be untouchable.
Yep.
Right. And perfect, but we aren't. And when we project that, then they feel like they can never live up, which is part of the whole founder syndrome and part of what keeps us trapped, that they just keep dumping stuff on us.
So you're teaching your people to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
A leader must be vulnerable. That's one of my things. Okay. A leader must set vision. A leader must be vulnerable, and a leader must ask great questions.
Wow. So let me ask you this. I love that last one. A leader must ask great questions. It seems like so many leaders, and this is probably a big part of the delegation trap, instead of asking questions, a lot of times leaders just give direction, right?
Yes.
So now we have people who are just minions, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it feels counterintuitive, because it feels like, well, you came to me, let me answer the question, and let me tell you what to do. And let me tell you how to do it. Right. And I'm the leader, and that's what you expect. It's funny. So we have tiers now of leadership within the company. And I just did a tour meeting all of the staff around, and went to different cities where people were meeting. And I'm having, a conversation over lunch with one of our team leads. Okay. Now, his direct supervisor, I have personally trained and mentored. He doesn't necessarily know that. Okay. Right. And so I'm asking him these questions like, you know, so what is it like working with her? And what's the experience? And he says, it's so weird because it was so uncomfortable, because I would come to her and it was like no other leader I ever had, because I'd come to her and I'd say, I'm having this problem, and I'm used to the leader just then telling me what to do. And she would just stop and ask me a question in return. And it was so uncomfortable. But what it's done is it's made me so independent. His words.
Interesting.
He found independence.
Wow. So that goes back to, I guess, kind of that leaders don't build followers, they build leaders. So if she's just giving him answers, he's a follower.
He's just a follower.
Huh.
He's just a follower.
So what have you seen this do to your businesses? I mean, does it, because really insecure leaders, the first thing I hear out of their mouth is they're all going to leave because they're going to outgrow the business.
I want them to leave. I want them to outgrow. Like if number one, every relationship comes to an end. And if we're arrogant enough to think that we're going to keep somebody forever, we're dumb. Okay.
Right.
So let's just go ahead and deal with the fact that they're going to leave. So why not make that a real thing? Like, you're going to leave, and here's the parameters on the which you're going to outgrow us. My goal is to help you outgrow us and say, hey, I need a bigger challenge. Then I've done my job.
I love it. It kind of goes to that whole saying of, you know, what if we make them better and they leave? The antithesis is, what if they don't get better and they stay?
They stay. Right.
And then you got people who are not growing at all.
But part of it, though, is, and it isn't just what if we make them better and they leave, because part of the culture is, and so this is one of the things that you have to create here. Okay. And so I'm talking to you, the insecure leader, listening to Adam and I right now. Okay. Part of that is creating the culture where they are training the next generation. You see, in order for someone to move up in my company, they have to replace themselves with someone who is as good or better than themselves.
I like that.
And
it seems like,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It seems like we have, I mean, that's one of the biggest weaknesses in leadership is succession planning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
But it isn't hard.
Why are we afraid to build people to replace us? I mean, it's not like they're going to just kick us to the curb and say, "Sorry, you're gone."
Because we think that's exactly what's going to happen. Because unfortunately, there are enough stories of ageism, seniority. Someone's cheaper who can do it better. Let's actually talk about AI, because that's also a backbone of the book as well, is you have to be able to lead better, because the world is about to change. And if you can't lead humans, you can't lead AI. And so people are terrified that AI is going to replace them. But guess what? It's not. Not in the way that you think, at least. Okay. In 2023, January 2023, so right after ChatGPT launched, I had the opportunity to be on stage for Ryan Dice talking about AI. So one of the first AI talks, if you will. And one of the things I said, and I stand by, is AI is going to make smart people smarter and dumb people dumber.
That's awesome.
Okay?
It's true.
And the smart people, the leaders, are going to learn to ask better questions.
I hope you're enjoying these conversations and finding value in them. If this episode challenged your thinking, encouraged you, or gave you a tool you can use to become a better leader, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Leadership isn't learned alone. It's passed from person to person, conversation to conversation, and action to action. If you're listening on a podcast platform, I'd be grateful if you'd leave a review also. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future conversations. And if you have a question, a thought, or a topic you'd like to see us cover, leave a comment, please. I read them and I'll do my best to respond. Thanks for being part of the Start With a Win community. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep leading. I mean, let's unpack this AI thing. In fact, I'd like to talk about probably AI for the rest of the show around AI and leadership, because
absolutely.
We have a lot of leaders who are like, oh, well, they still need my role. And so we see leaders say they're implementing AI, but I think it's like 18% of people who say they're implementing AI actually do. Mm-hmm. So, it's
which is a high number, actually. I think it's less than that.
It probably is by now. Yeah. So, tell me, I mean, what is your perspective of what should we be looking at? And this is a big question, but I'm a leader. Where do I start? So first, before I answer your question, let me just give you a little backdrop to the answer to that question. So you and anyone listening to us can understand where I come from. Okay. My first AI project, y'all listen to me carefully now. My first AI project was 1992. Oh man.
In 1992, me and two friends sat around and said, I wonder if we could create an engine that could figure out what the next word somebody was going to say is. Guess what? It's a predictive engine. Guess what? That's what large language models are. Now, I'm not saying that we created a large language model. We didn't. Okay. We had like 500 words.
Right.
Right. But we've been in it for that long. And so my perspective on this is a little bit different. Okay. And so I want to give that a bit of that backdrop here. Right. Number one, we can't be afraid of AI. It is here and it's not going anywhere. That's number one. Number two is we have to understand that the experience now is different. So many of us are using AI like kindergartners. What do I mean by that? You're going to ChatGPT and and it gives you something like, "Ooh, cool, cute. It wrote me something. Oh, it created a document. Ooh, cool, cute." Right? I had somebody today show me, "Oh, look at the ad that it created for me, the ChatGPT created, or that Claude created." You're using AI like a kindergartner. Yes. Can it produce? Can it use it as a producer? Absolutely. But you see, where AI really, really takes over, and in terms of helping you, me, the human, extend ourselves, is when it can be our thinking partner.
Tell me about that. What does a thinking partner look like?
So now a thinking partner understands some things. A thinking partner understands, number one, what is the current situation that you're in?
Okay.
Number two, what is the problem? that needs to be solved? And number 3, what is the outcome and the experience that needs to happen when that problem is solved? You see, a thinking partner understands those 3 things, but where does it get that information from? Us, the human.
Right.
And as a thinking partner now it can help us start to map how to get there. You see, too many of us are using AI, and I got the hat on. Using AI, AI is a Superman. It's Superman sitting over here in the corner, right? And we treat AI like this, like Superman sitting in the corner, and we go over to him and say, hey, Superman, Lex Luthor just took over the Capitol building, and he's going to take over the entire world right now. I need you to go save the world. Now, here's what I need you to do. I need you to fly down, use your laser vision, and then come in through the back door, punch Lex's assistant, then grab Lex by the throat. And we dictate to AI exactly what we want and how we want it to do it. But you see, you wouldn't do that to Superman. You would just say, Superman, the world needs saving, and let Superman go figure out how to do it. You see, current situation. This is what's currently going on. And this is the problem with it. And here is the outcome experience that we want to have. And let AI help you map that course.
So
that's a thinking partner.
We're getting into the sausage making too much as human beings.
Oh, heck yeah.
We need to let AI discover the best way to make the sausage. Or even, maybe it makes a meatball instead of sausage because it says, have you thought about a meatball? No, you're fixed on sausage.
Exactly. I'll give you a realistic example for this. So we've in our agency, we've sold high ticket forever. That's what we do. Right. But as you well know, if you're selling high ticket, eventually you got to have a medium ticket and lower ticket stuff. Right.
Yep.
And so with this latest offer that we released last year, high ticket, it was, okay, so what's the medium ticket? What's the low ticket? And you've got to go through the process of figuring all that out and so on and so forth. And so I sat down and I explained the situation, exactly what I just told you. Right. And I said, I actually need to hire someone who can figure this out. And the AI agent, Claude in this case, said, you're looking for an ISD. Dude, I still don't even know what ISD stands for. Okay. But when it gave me the description of what an ISD is, I'm like, yes, that's the person I need. And then I said, okay, but I want you to be my ISD. And it said, okay. And it went formulated how it could be my ISD. And here's what it's done for me in the last 3 months. It has completely revamped our program. It's found the irresistible offer that has people knocking down our door now, which we'd been struggling to even come close to. Okay? Because I just defined where I am, what my situation is, what my desired outcome is, and said, how do I get there? And it said, this is how you get there, and this is what you need. And it was 100% right.
And you're using Claude Cowork to do that? Is it?
So I use Claude and Claude Code. I don't use Cowork nearly as much, only because I'm a code guy.
Okay. So you're creating the engine to do these things, and then you're modifying that engine to grow with the thought process. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But now my team uses a lot of Claude Cowork. They also use a lot of Claude Code as well. And that's we can do a whole nother episode on that, because when we talk about delegation, I took a creative team and now they're all developing software.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was a transition.
Yeah, but they don't need to know how to code. Claude does it for them. They just need the creativity to help it discover the what ifs. Yeah.
They need to know how to think.
I love that. How do we've got a lot of society that, we have traditional education, things like that going on. I mean, do you think it's possible for us to start shifting the academic space or how our kids are growing up? I mean, you've coached a lot of kids in your life.
I have.
I mean, how do we make this shift in society where people are like, I can be more than what I can think about by using the right tools?
Yeah, that's a really great and big question. And I wish I had a beautiful answer for you on that. We are where we are right now because of the Industrial Revolution, because Rockefeller realized he needed workers who were going to be on time and follow systems the way he laid them out. And so they created the school system in the way they did. They shifted the school system, right?
Yeah.
So that it could produce better workers for the factory instead of workers for the farm, right? But now we're going into a whole new paradigm. And so it's who's going to say, hey, we got to change everything, and who's then going to buy into it? I don't know the answer to that question. I'll be just completely honest with you.
That's a beautiful answer, though, that you gave me, because it really stimulates that evolutionary growth process. And frankly, you and I are Gen Xers. We're not supposed to be thinking this way. We're supposed to be, we're not digital natives.
Right.
So, we grew up playing board games and chasing each other with sticks, stuff like that. And I mean, playing was go outside and come home, when the streetlights come on, or
exactly.
If you don't hear your, something going on, you saw somebody else sitting down for dinner. So you knew it was time to go somewhere.
Yes.
But I mean, it's, now we have kids who grow up with a Nintendo Switch or a iPhone or an iPad in their hand, and they're starting to learn things. But, I know traditional education is a little bit skewed off of that, but ultimately I think it's going to come down to us, to the leaders, influencing what the business participants, I don't say employees, because they're on the team and they have to participate every day. They have to bring their best, but what they take home, I guess. Yeah. So whatever they learned at the office, they could take home, and hopefully we've got some good education going on.
So 2 things there, if I could, right? Yeah. So number one, why I'm promoting and talking about the book and everything so much is because I do believe that we as small business owners, everywhere I go, because, I live in the Philippines, I travel all over the world, and everywhere I go, I hear the same thing. People are complaining. They're not happy with society. Okay. And whatever society they're living in, there's a problem. There's a this, there's a that, and they're all looking to someone else to solve that problem for them. Right. And I believe that we as small business owners, we have the ability to change the world, because no other group of people touches more people per day than small business owners. And so if we can be better leaders, ergo the education system, we can affect society as a whole. That's number one. Number two, I also think, when you're getting back to the education question, and when you asked it, I was thinking about it in terms of major population areas, the US, the UK, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there are going to be some developing nations that recognize this and start to change the way they train their populations. And that's going to cause a wealth redistribution.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I think you're right, because the reality is, with Starlink and therefore the internet, anybody, any place, if you can get on Starlink and you have somewhat of a piece of technology in front of you, you can make a difference.
Yes. And where you're from, even what you have access to, doesn't matter as much as it used to. Who you have access to doesn't matter. Now, obviously, you're not going to become Elon Musk. Right. However, wealth redistribution. We're going to see more developing and poorer nations rise because of ingenuity of thought and the access. Now we finally have access, and we have the power to be able to create for the first time, like truly create. Because, and I was talking to somebody about that earlier today. It's like, the reality is, all we're seeing right now is what we've seen before. We saw this with the web. We saw this with, with Industrial Revolution. We saw this with the printing press. Like we can go all the way back. It's just the same thing all over again. The big difference this time is the democratization of access to the ability to create.
Yep. You're right. I mean, you can create it. I mean, it's additive manufacturing. You've got AI. I can ship you from Denver to the Philippines in an instant, the blueprints to print something on a 3D printer, and you and I can have the same product in front of us instantly.
Yep.
It's crazy, but it's really the only holdback. And I love that you talk about this. There's only one person holding us back in doing this, right? Hold up the mirror, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, so I just spent the last month on the road meeting and going through and doing mini retreats with all of my team. And, I started with, hey, I'm going to give you a gift in this. And it wasn't about conceit. I'm going to give you a gift in the next 3 days. It's going to affect the rest of your life. Because what I gave them was a new way of thinking. And a new way, the way I'm seeing AI and once you see the minds open, because that's my entire point to them is you can be whatever it is you need and want to be. The only thing holding you back is you.
I like that.
Your willingness to ask the question. And that's the thing. I've also come to realize that it's not that people don't know the questions to ask. They're unwilling to ask the questions they want to ask.
Oh, everybody listen to that again. That's perfect.
Okay. It's that willingness to actually ask the question.
And is that out of fear?
100%. 100%. I had someone in one of my workshops say this. He says, I'm afraid that Claude is going to judge me.
I guess you can't laugh at him that way.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's, again, you and I grew up not caring what judgment was. It was about, okay, you beat me in the race. I'm going to turn around and go, nice job. You beat me in the race. I better get better
you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, a lot of people are afraid to just ask the question.
Interesting. So that permeates through our businesses then also. Takes us back to step one. They're afraid to ask questions because either they don't want to hear the answer or they don't want somebody to make them feel like they are dumb about it or whatever.
Or accountable.
Ooh, yeah. The A word.
Right?
Yes.
It's on both sides. That's the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Right. And why they don't want to ask the questions, but that's the key. Right. And so let's go a little bit further than just even the delegation trap in the book. The book teaches the leader how to ask the question, but now we got to teach them how to ask the questions and how to express those things. Right. For me, it's a core value. We've always had a core value of curiosity is king. And I define curiosity by the questions that you ask. Curious people ask questions. You can't be curious and not ask questions.
Right.
Right. And so I baked it into our core values that we live.
Love that.
Right. And for all of us as leaders, we have to find a way to bake it into our culture, whether it's core values or some other way, bake it in that, look, you've got to be curious. Ask the question.
Ask the question.
Ask it. I
love that. This is really gotten deep into the heart of leadership, Atiba. This is amazing. Our listeners want to know where they can find out more about you. Where can we find you online?
Yeah. So you can find the book on thedelegationtrap.com. And then you can meet me at meetatiba.com.
I love that. And you spell your name Atiba.
Correct.
Okay. Atiba de Souza This has
Yes, sir.
really been an amazing conversation. I really appreciate you sharing your wisdom with us all. I mean, people pay a lot of money to get coached by you, and you know, we're getting a little dose of it here. So everybody make sure you check him out online. Atiba, I have a question I ask all of the amazing leaders on Start With a Win, and that's, how do you start your day with a win?
So it's changed. Okay. It used to be with a journal, that, you know, from the night before and now, but now I have Claude as my thinking partner, AI brain second. And so I start there in the morning now of, okay, what do we got today?
Oh,
right. And it knows, and it's tracking every project and everything. And so it's able to then help me understand what's important today.
I like that. That's, I mean, you start right up with the conversation with your AI self.
Yep.
That's amazing. Everybody, this is a new one over 5 years or so. We have not heard this one yet. So appreciate the insight, Atiba. Yeah, unique and new.
Unique. So, I'll take it.
I love it. We got to have you back, man. Listen, I want to dig deeper on some of these things with you. This has been an incredible conversation. So I appreciate your time today. Everybody, make sure you watch the video on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts. Now have video. So check us out on there. Atiba de Souza, any closing statements for our amazing audience?
Hey, listen, you've spent the time listening to us, and it probably resonated with you. And it resonated with you because you know you were called to greater leadership than what you're doing right now. You know it. You can feel it. You can feel that pang inside of you. And the thing is, it's not that far. It does take a commitment. It does take dedication, but it's not that far. And you can do it. And more importantly, your staff, your customers, your family needs you to do it.
Love it. You're a leader.
Yeah.
Grab the bull by the horns and go after it. So
let's go, baby.
All right. Atiba, thanks a lot, my friend.
Thank you, Adam. This has been great.
All right. You have a great day, and thanks for starting with a win.
Thank you.